Injuries don't appear to be playing much of a factor. The players seem to be up, and I really think it's anybody's ball game. I'm not giving Rochester the advantage because of the fact that they're playing at home. I think it's anybody's game.
Well, regardless of who the Rochester War Memorial.
Well, a super hyped up crowd here, as small as they are in numbers. They appear to be very loud, very excited about the game tonight. And of course, as we've said a number of times, this could be the final game of the season in the National Lacrosse League, of course, depending on the final result, Gene, and it should be a whale of a ball game. There's no doubt about it.
Well, Carmen McMillan, number 9, far side facing you, Jerry Blodgett are the 2 officials. And facing off will be Kevin Parsons, number 6, wearing that assistant captain's A on his upper left shoulder of the blouse. A Griffin again, for those of you who asked, a mythological creature, the body of a lion with wings. And they'd like to take off tonight against the Philadelphia Wings. Interesting enough, we're on the sideline is ready for the face-off with Jim Hickey there. Just last Saturday, it was the Rochester Red Wings of the International Baseball League winning the Governor's Cup, emblematic of that AAA baseball championship.
Well, we've got Griffins and Wings, and of course this could be a big sports town if the Rochester Griffins pull this one off tonight. And a lot of excited people here.
Jones a flip pass, and Philadelphia may have lost the ball early, and they do. And here comes Parsons. Rochester wanting to run. He's got Keegan on his left. There's a drive. Hits the back of the net, and they roar here because, as you found at home, a bullet shot is very hard to follow on camera. It is also very difficult in some instances from areas of the arena to see. So fans whoop and holler when they see that net jump. And a jump, but from the ricochet, hitting it from behind. In that far corner, Larry Lloyd has been kept under control. Breaking for a shot, lets it go, and it's partially blocked. Rebound off to the near side, picked up by Rochester. Jan McGee, number 5, has got Glenn Newman to his left. Lloyd back, Tubroyd, Terry, and Lariat. Rochester sets up, makes some changes, and out along the near side is number 10. That's Graham Gare, the doctor, who has 10 points in the series, and that has to be a surprise. Bill Foote got 10 points, ripped that by Carm Collins. Passes over here, that's Brian Wilson, also a twice 3-goal getter in the 5 games played to date. There's a drive. Platt makes the save and hangs on the carom. Looked down the box for Terry Rowland, but decided instead to feed off to Goulding. That's Terry Lloyd. No score. We played a minute and a half. There's Rowland. He's in. He'll get a shot. Score! Terry Rowland. And he gets his 6th of the series. And directly beneath us in the area around the Wings players bench, a contingent of Philadelphia fans here. And Ron, for the first time in Rochester, we're hearing cheers for Philadelphia.
Well, that's great, and the Wings open up the scoring. A tremendous goal. There's the last part of that goal. A hard shot, and the Wings take a 1-0 lead. A great goal.
1:34 the time of Rowland's goal, his 6th of the finals. Terry Lloyd and Bob Goulding the assist. Little Jimmy Wasson picks up the loose ball on the draw. Wasson, who has 5 goals so far, feeds off to Richardson. Barry being worked on by Brian Wilson. Near pass to Tim O'Grady. There's Wasson. Scoop shot. And it went behind Merv Marshall. You could see him look, but didn't cross the line. And an out pass quickly along the near side to Paul Warden. Trying to lead in tight. Picked off by O'Grady. He's bumped hard by Tom Fair, but Richardson 15 with the ball. Takes the bump. Has the ball knocked free, but John Grant loses. There goes the break. They try to hit the man. Boom! And that was Dave Wilfong, and he was double-teamed.
Nothing wrong with that check. That was a good, clean check. And Wilfong goes down and loses the ball.
Philadelphia showing a lot more pizzazz tonight than they did Thursday at Philadelphia.
Well, certainly in the early going. Let's just hope they can keep this going, spread it out through three periods of play. They're going to have to.
There's Mike Collins, really being worked over by Len Power's shot, and misses everything, and the deep rebound is being taken. Here comes McGee on the pass. There's the shot way over the top of the net and the glass. As getting a piece of it and a good cover-up was Lipinski.
Well, he seemed to catch that one in the top of his netting, and a wild shot, and that could have resulted in a goal very easily.
There's Larry Ferguson, screened by Mike Collins. Collins was in free. The pass eluded and went to Merv Marshall, and there's the outlet pass. And a bad one, as Len Power, number 16, wasn't really breaking. He was going to the bench, so Rochester could make a player change. 3:15 gone, and a very exciting opening part of this first period, with Philadelphia on top on a goal by Rowland. Both teams aware now that each of the last two games, going to win it for somebody. There is Lipinski on the pass from Rowland with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. 8, 7. Then he's going to have to maneuver. Lets it go. Wide. It hits a man before. Rolls in front. A shot by Krasny. And he caromed it too far in front of Marshall, and it caroms out of the box. Rochester in possession.
Okay, now we've got a Rochester goal, and certainly the Griffins haven't started off as gangbusters as they did the other night. Here's Gare going in. He loses it. And the Wings take over. Down they go.
That's Terry Lloyd, who didn't look for the fast break as McCormick 3 was back there. Brought it quickly in the forecourt and now tries to work offensively. Out comes Watson. That's McCormick, who's Rochester's bad boy so far in the series. Flip pass, lost by Collins. Caromed into the corner. Larry Lloyd fights for it. Collins tries to pick it up. It's free. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Philadelphia will have to get it off quickly. There's Lloyd, taken away from him by Gare. Picks up the loose ball behind his net. Whacked at by Terry Lloyd. Breaks out, and we've played 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the first period. 1-0 Philadelphia. Rowland at 1:34 from Goulding and Terry Lloyd. Rochester in that far corner. That's Gordonier working his way along the near side. Flip pass in tight, and he almost had his man breaking free. Henderson, number 14, but Wasson scooped it free. Right up here to John Grant. 7 periods without a goal. Grant working his way in. He's double-teamed and loses the ball, and that's what Rochester is effectively doing. Here comes the fast break. 25 is Brian Bowman. To his right, fair shot. Whistles wide, and again the roar because it caromed off the back of the twines. Ball loose in there. Boom! And Wayne Platt gets in there to throw a check against Wilfong, but Fair comes out with the ball. Rochester's strength in the series has been one of their edges, the rebound. There's a shot. That's wide. And the deep rebound will come back to neutral area. And Rochester again, for the second time, pick up the loose ball on this offensive thrust. That's Len Powers, works over to Kevin Parsons, 6'2", 220 pounds. Biggest per square inch. There's Kevin, a score!
Oh, what a shot! What a shot! Kevin Parsons right from the top. Let that blistering shot go. And certainly, I think he might have been screened on it, but you couldn't.
We're going to
couldn't
quickly
blame Platt on that one.
We're going to quickly take time out. His 8th goal to give him 16 points for the final series and evens the game at 1. Rochester's first score coming at 5:42. Hickey takes the draw with Graham Garrett, sprung free, but we're going to have a violation against Hickey, and it will be. No, I thought Jerry Blodgett was signaling a Rochester possession, but no, he was just waving Hickey out of the face-off circle. Lipinski gets a whack at it, drives it back to Wayne Platt. Platt lifts a pass to Larry Ferguson. He's out with Lipinski and Paul Jones along with Mike Collins and Krasny. Ferguson gets a screen. Great when he's in. Shot. Oh, and Merv Marshall with the first hit made. And Larry Ferguson was in all by himself, and Merv Marshall was the better. Now Rochester can take it to lead for the first time. And a shot wide, Karen to Mike Collins. Away from Gordonier. Collins has stepped up. Good check in there by Graham Gare.
We've had some hard checking so far tonight, Gene. No penalties called yet, so that would indicate we're going to have a tough game. There's a good shot on net and a save by Marshall.
That's Wilfong. Here he comes with Bill Foote. They made that quick box change. Ball fought for, and we've got a violation. If that ball's in that crease area, an offensive player can't even go in after it to touch, and that was the whistle as Wilfong got himself in no man's land, or no offensive man's land. Larry Lloyd having trouble, still having trouble, and as he realized he was double-teamed wisely, I thought Ron tried to cover it over here for Kerry Rowland. Whack at Rowland, but all this has cost Philadelphia precious time, just 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Rowland right up the mid. He'll drive from right there, pass to Terry Lloyd and the save, and there's the fast break out of the pass. And whacking at his man, but no good. Shot. Oh, Wayne Fong. And Wayne Platt made the save. Quickly up Collins. And we've got a violation and a whistle, and I think we've got a slash being called here against Larry Lloyd as he worked over Tommy Fair.
Blodgett had his arm up back in the Griffins corner just a few moments ago, and I thought we were going to have our first penalty down there, but I guess he elected not to call it. Larry Lloyd gets the first penalty of the game.
There you see Larry, who's had 10 goals, 4 assists for 14 points in the series. John Grant had 10 in the first 3 games, and he's only had he had 18 points after 3 games, but in the last 2, the Rochester Griffins have held the big score to just 3 assists.
Okay, here we go now. Double teaming. Rochester having the ball, and they lose it. We're going to have a draw. The ball went over the boards, so we'll...
That Jackie Gleason away we go elbows movement is really the referee's signal for a draw ball.
That's right.
And we've got the Philadelphia club here upset along the near side about something. Oh, I see what it is. The penalty clock did not run off any seconds, and it still shows 2 minutes on there despite the draw ball. Loose the... Oh, they blew the penalty. Rochester and Philadelphia tied at 1, and Philadelphia coming up with the ball. Remember, no shot clock violation now. Oh, there's a weak play as Hickey and Krasny had possession, and Ron, one of the real Achilles heel so far for the Wings in the playoffs, their inability to kill penalties.
Well, that's a fact, and that's been one of their major attributes all year. They've been able to kill penalties, and their power play as well has been very potent.
There's Parsons, very dangerous as a corner man. He's got Brian Wilson over here and foot on the other side. Parsons, he'll go right in, and he got part of his stick trapped by Lipinski, and the shot went wide. Now, you've got to get the ball up in the 4 box in 10 seconds, and Jimmy Wasson may not be able to do it. Worked over by Bisson. Now feeds in the forecourt, but you see there it is, and nope, Lipinski is whacked up by Fair. Triple teamed, and Rochester with the ball. And what I mean by killing penalties, not so much that they've not been able to stop teams from scoring, but they've not been able to keep control of the ball and run time off. So attacking teams like Rochester have had almost a 2-minute advantage in attacking and attempting to score. And you get that long, you'll put one in.
Well, that's true. They've got, it's pretty tough, to get that ball over the line in 10 seconds. There's a goal.
Baseline scored from Wilson and Kevin Parsons on the power play, and it's 2-1 at 8:34. And we'll take timeout now for a message. Charlie Henderson. He's got Brian Bohm way off on the far left wing by himself as Rochester changing on the go. And now they drop off. There's Parsons. And Flatt was screened, but got a piece of it low. He deflected in the near corner, but Newman up with the ball. And those are the things that hurt when you have possession and you're out hustled in the offensive corners.
This Parsons has a murderous shot if he lets that go. Still with the ball.
Being taken by Hinkson now. He feeds the shovel pass into Newman. Picked up, fed into Parsons, and Rochester flipping that ball around with alacrity, but Tim O'Grady was able to work it free and keep Kevin off. Here he comes. Shot, that's wide, and Rochester's going to get whistled for a violation right about now. Despite all those heroics and whistling shots, none of them came on the net, and so the 30-second shot violation is whistled. 10:19 remaining in the first period, and the Griffins lead it 2-1. There's Ferguson. Bad pass. As it was led all the way by Graham Gare, comes right up the middle. With the ball, he'll shoot, and Flatt makes the save as Krasny picks it up on the deep rebound. Bad pass by Ferguson right through the crease with a man reading it. Paul Jones loses the ball, but picked up on the carom by Larry Ferguson, trying to work his way in. Shot, score!
Oh.
Right through Marshall's feet. And for Larry Ferguson, his 5th of the playoff series, the final. And the game is tied at 2 as that one comes at 10-11.
A great goal by, here it is. Lucky to get that pass. He sneaks around in here. Fergie, he just puts it underneath the goaltender. And I really don't think Marshall was waiting for a shot. It was a rather unusual angle, well checked. And of course, we have a 2-2 ball game going for us now.
Getting possession, Hickey, rather than being double-teamed along the boards, alertly flipped back to Platt to allow them to work up offensively with some clarity. Mike Collins. Near corner pass. That's Paul Jones working in close to Krasny. He was in, but lost possession, and Rochester has it along the area behind their net. That's Hockelick being slowed down by Krasny. Now feeds off to Rick Bisson. Into the forecourt on the far side. Here comes Dave Wilfong. Winds up. Shot! And Platt was screened by Mike Collins, but it hit him in the midsection. His least vulnerable spot, I would say, for a big midsection guy myself.
Well, he's well protected down there, Gene, and certainly if you're going to be hit anywhere, you want to be hit there if you're goaltender.
Larry Lloyd trying to maneuver against Len Powers, trailing the play Goulding. He'll shoot from right there. Lets it go, and it's wide. And immediately Wilfong, and that's the quickness of Rochester. As soon as the shot was taken and he read deep rebound, was breaking down the court.
They practice that. It's a big part of their offense.
30-second shot violation. That's Brian Keegan, Griffin captain. One of the Fleetsters, screened by Jeff Newman. There's Kevin Parsons. He'll be the key tonight to the Rochester attack. Picked up by Larry Lloyd, who whacks away at him. Gets another screen from Glenn Newman. Pivots Newman breaking inside. Parsons still with the ball. And we've got 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Feeds Keegan. Breaks past Larry Lloyd. Wrap around. Broken free to Terry Rowland. Rowland hawked that from behind by Keegan, but breaks up along the left wing. He's got Terry Lloyd in front. Goes right past Powers. Shot. And a great save by Merv Marshall. Ball loose in the corner. They battle for it. And it's picked up by John Grant. Loses it. Gets control again, and the 30-second shot clock rewinds. 8 minutes remaining in the first period. 2-2. John Grant is in. He shoots. Score! John Grant breaks a string of 7 consecutive shutout periods without a goal to give Philadelphia the lead at 12:09, 3-2.
Well, John Grant just tucked that over the top for Marshall. Here comes the shot. Partially checked here. He sneaks it around. And right over the top. Yeah, that's tough to beat. You've got about 8 foot of lacrosse player and stick going for you there, and he can tuck that ball anywhere, and certainly he must be happy right now to break that 7 period streak, and we're going to have a little bit of a break right now.
Back here in Rochester, 3-2 Philadelphia. Wasson's going to take a beating as he tries to work that ball and does back to Wayne Platt. Ron, do you notice anything tonight?
Well,
any observations in this first 12 minutes?
Well, my first observation is that the referees are letting an awful lot go, and I think that's great. They're being very discretionary, and there's a goal! Yeah, little Jimmy Wasson. A big goal puts the Philadelphia Wings ahead 4-2.
That was unassisted, although they may give Wayne Platt an assist for feeding him the ball. And let's watch his great individual effort. Look, he was bumped twice, and you saw there was a delayed penalty call. If you caught the official to the left of your screen, Jerry Blodgett, as there was a slash high on Wasson's shoulder. For Wasson, his 5th playoff goal, along with 4 assists for 9 points. 4-2 Philadelphia. Hinkson trying to get the ball and does. And now drops. Oh, it rolled off his stick. I didn't see it myself along the near side. And back to Rochester, who come up on the far side. That's Dr. Gare, Graham Gare. Make that Hockelick. Pivoting now. He'll go underhit. And always, Ron, I don't know if you know Bill Hockelick, but he always seems to like that scoop shot. And now we've got a fight. We've got Richardson over here with Bisson. And I don't think anything's going to happen. They're challenging one another. I think this is going to be the sound and fury signifying nothing.
A lot of sweat, perhaps, but not a punch thrown. And it's a little early in the ball game, you know, a 4-2 game to be throwing fists around. These fellas are up, though. They're probably a little nervous. And
you know what the conversation was? Bisson was saying, "Oh yeah," and Richardson was saying, "Oh yeah," and Bisson would say, "Oh yeah," and so then Jerry Blodgett came along and said, "Oh yeah," 2 minutes each, right. And they'll probably get it for roughing. The penalties now are 3 total called by Blodgett and McMillan. The second to Philadelphia.
Well, Gene, if one punch had been thrown in that fight, it would have been a 5-minute penalty, so they're probably just as happy that they're only going to sit in the cooler for 2.
All right, minors for high sticking to Richardson and Rick Bisson. 4-2 and the clock running with Philadelphia in possession. 7 minutes remaining in the first period. There goes Lipinski. Krasny was going to break, but Parsons slowed him down. We've got 16 seconds on the shot clock. Lipinski lost the ball. Scooped free and picked up by Kevin Parsons. Quickly up, right up the middle. That's Brian Keegan. He slowed down as the Wings were back quickly. Off to Glenn Newman. Newman breaking inside. Krasny gets that stick, knocks him free. Watch out, Newman in front. He spun around. A shot, that's wide. And I'll tell you this.
That was a holding.
That looked like a hold to me. Twisted around by Lipinski. Really had to do it, else Newman was in all by himself.
Well, I mentioned that the refs were being very discretionary on their calls tonight, and perhaps that one should have been called, although perhaps over the long run they tend to even themselves out.
4-2, 6:05 remaining first period. The Wings have out Terry Rowland 27, 32 Goulding, 10 Carm Collins and Larry Lloyd. They're playing 5-a-side. Rowland working his way right on in, scores! Right around Graham Gare, his second of the night, and it's 5-2 Philadelphia.
He's been their big gun tonight, there's no doubt about it. He's playing a heads-up ball game. Here comes the shot, right in, and no doubt about it, Merv Marshall didn't really stand much of a chance on that one. And a big 5-2 lead for the Philadelphia Wings.
For Rowland, his 8th goal of the finals. And Platt picks up his second assist of the first period. And Philadelphia's Terry Rowland picks up the loose ball. Same foursome out there. Rowland spins past his man. Loose in front. Goulding tried to pick it up. Now has it in the corner. We've got 15 seconds. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Goulding inside foot. Bounces him off nicely as it appeared he had the corner turned. 8 seconds. 7. Now he's in. Goulding right in. Shot. Score! And it's 6-2. And it's all one-on-one.
Well, that was an incredible shot and incredible on the part of Merv Marshall. If we're going to get a replay here, he didn't even appear to move on the ball. It went right over his left-hand shoulder. Watch this. Goulding coming in, working his way in now. Here he comes, right over the shoulder, and Merv Marshall just kind of stood there, didn't even appear to see the ball. That's a big 6-2 lead now for the Wings.
Incredible. By the 5-minute mark or the 6-minute mark, Thursday at home, they were down 9-2. I think these teams are saying there is no place like home.
Well, it's a long ball game yet, Gene. Anything can happen, but certainly better that the Wings be ahead 6-2 than Rochester.
Grant breaking with Hinkson, 2-on-2. Grant's going to try to beat his man. He's in! Shot! Oh, and he hit the crossbar as he had Marshall beaten high. Karam's out of the box, and we'll have a draw ball in the near circle left. 6 seconds remaining on the minor penalties to Richardson and Rick Bisson of Rochester. Teams have been playing 5-a-side, and after going ahead 2-1, Rochester has seen Philadelphia come up with 5 unanswered goals from Larry Ferguson, John Grant, Jimmy Wasson, Terry Rowland, and Bob Goulding.
Gene, not to take anything away from the goaltending of Merv Marshall, I've been keeping my eye on him the last couple of minutes, and he's walking around pretty slow out there. I just wonder whether he's injured or what's going on. He's not sharp on those goals at all. He's very, very slow. We've got a little bit of a mix-up now over the penalty box.
And again, I'm going to be terribly critical of Rochester, as Ron, I am in most arenas. There's not a uniform attendant or a police officer there. And you'll note that there's no glass, so anyone seated by there, or anyone who happens to walk by, or, well, and even the altercations in the box, no one there is officially there to break it up. 6-2 Wings, and we'll take time out for this.
Well, back to the play now. We didn't catch what the discrepancy was over there, but everything appears to be A-OK, and the play is back underway. We're going to have a face-off now to the right of Merv Marshall.
Gene Hart along with Ron Duquette, the voice of the Toronto Tomahawks of the NLL, for the absent Ralph Lawler. And again, Channel 29 salute and congratulations to Wayne Harden and the Temple Owls for a great 34-7 win over BC. And you'll see the Wayne Harden Show Tuesday nights on Channel 29. That's Tim O'Grady as the Wings are getting all of the loose balls and playing very well right now. John Grant. Penalties are over. Teams at full strength. Grant winding up. Drives. Marshall to save. The ball is loose. Still scrambling for it in front of the net, and Karam's to Marshall. And we've got a violation, an in-and-out play. And it will be Philadelphia on the violation, taking it in the corner. All right, Wasson now being worked on by Keegan. Clock running, plenty of time, 25 seconds, 4.5 minutes in the period. There's Hinkson, in! Just as he wound up the shoot, ball knocked free. Vicious check in there. Thrown, and we're going to have a interference violation against Rochester, Philadelphia with the ball. 15 seconds on the shot clock, and that's Barry Richardson. That's the first real zoomer thrown tonight. There goes Richardson, bumped that by Kevin Parsons. Shot, a bad angle shot. The poor one carrying out along the near side. Oh, and Keegan is buried, but the shot clock winds its way down. 4:02 left in the period, 6-2 Wings. They scored first, and Rochester came back. Kevin Parsons to tie it. Rick Beeson on a power play goal, and then the Wings came up with 5 big ones in a row. Gare picked up by Jimmy Wasson. Pivots. Looking for help. Just passing him on the right side was Brian Wilson. There's Bill Foote. Foote picked up by Lipinski, and now switch goes to Jimmy Wasson. Double teaming him. Foote working his way past. He's right on in. Save, and then it rebound and goes in. Wayne Platt made the save, and it carroned off him, hit the crossbar, came back, hit him, and carroned in to make it 6-3. And Bill Foote gets his sixth goal of the series.
Here we go. Billy works his way in. Now there's the stop. Wayne Platt just able to get his shoulder on it, dribbles by. And we have a 6-3 ball game. The Rochester Griffins now starting to come back.
All right. And it's strange that the goals tonight, most of them have been scored on one-on-one efforts rather than good passing or breakaways 2-on-1.
That's a fact, Gene. The defensive units are playing tremendous out there. Not an awful lot of shots on net, and they're really playing it tough.
Well, there was Glenn Ferguson wide open, pushed into the corner. That'll be a violation against number 15, Brian Wilson. But rather than working their way, one man is isolated and been able to beat his man and go in on the goaltender.
That's how close they're playing it and how tough they're playing it. You can beat your man, you can get in and get that shot away.
There's Lipinski. It means that they're picking and screening well for one another. Lipinski breaks free. Shot. Marshall had it. There's the break, and he's looking down court quickly. And breaking is Len Powers. Trailing the play is Bill Foote. He's bumped right off nicely by Jimmy Hinkson, 5. Close in the corner, smashing check thrown by McCormick, or against McCormick by Glenn Ferguson. And we had a slight delay here as off camera, Foote had the helmet knocked off his head.
I was going to say, Gene, that's the first time this quick break has really worked for Rochester tonight. They got that one away fast, but of course it didn't materialize. They really didn't get that good shot away.
All right, McCormick has it. 17 seconds on the shot clock. There's a quick pass out, shot by Gare. And the save by Wayne Platt, scooped into the net area by Zenny Lipinski. Even that ball lays back there. It's not like hockey where the offensive player can go in there and poke it free. Once it's in that semicircle and that lined area behind the net, the offensive player just cannot go in or touch. Goulding has trouble along the near side, controls. He's out with Lloyd and Collins along with Terry Lloyd and Richardson. Goulding, who's got a goal, winding up, trying to get past his man, can't. Working the other way, loses the screen as they switch effectively. Reading the pass was Henderson, and he comes up, trailed by Hockelick. 2 wings back. There goes Henderson right up the middle. Winds up, pivots inside, pivots again, can't get through. Now he does. Oh, and he bounces it off Wayne Platt and gets his own rebound. And that's pretty tough when he had big Terry Lloyd right there and having to give away at least a half a foot of height. Turning inside is Glenn Newman. Back to McGee. Shot. Save. Score. Well, it was picked up by Platt, and as he raised the stick, it slipped off the stick into the net as we take timeout for this. The play by Parsons, getting the goal. That's his second of the night, his 3rd point. And getting the assist, Glenn Newman 4 and Wilson 15. And it's now 6-4 with a minute and a half remaining in the first period. Wings on top by 2. They've led by as many as 4. O'Grady in past his man, loses it. It was picked off in the air by Parsons. He has it slapped free, and Philadelphia gains control on that fine cover-up by little Jimmy Watson. O'Grady was in and then had the ball tapped free. There's Grant, who has scored one tonight to break a shutout string of 7 periods without a goal for him. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Working on him is Len Powers. Grant trying to cut inside. He'll come the shot right now. Shot wide, and it caroms out of the box, and it will be Rochester ball. Grant had gotten inside Len Powers and then caromed the shot wide. Rochester changing personnel, bringing out a fresh unit. That's Gare with the ball, number 10, picked up by Lipinski, 9. Into the corner. That's Gordonier. Winding up, getting past Hinkson, right in front, all alone. Oh, great save off Bill Foote by Wayne Platt. Beautiful pass by Gordonier as he sucked Lipinski over and set up his man by himself in front. And that time it was Platt coming up with the Wings' biggest save of this opening period. 31 seconds remain. 6-4 Philadelphia. And stay with us during the intermission as Ron Duquette, voice of the Toronto Tomahawks, will be our intermission host. Big draws. They'll have Parsons out there, no doubt, against Hickey. Make that Paul Warden, who sat out the last game. Philadelphia can kill the period if they gain control. Rochester would like to get a goal and draw within at least one before the buzzer sounds. Ball poked free. Fighting for it is Bowman. He digs it out. Really whacked out by Lipinski. And the ball rolling all the way back into the corner with 15 seconds. No shot clock working. Rochester will play go for the last one. That's Warden. Quickly into the box area is Tommy Fair. Out comes the goaltender. You can't see it, but he's going out for an extra forward. 7 seconds. He's breaking right for the net. That's Keegan. Tries to feed a pass. It's loose, and there'll be no further scoring in the period as the buzzer sounds to end the opening 20 minutes of play with a score. The Philadelphia Wings 6. Period, or what do you see Rochester changing to try to improve from that 6-4 deficit?
Well, I see Morley Kells trying to figure some way to get his men through that tough defense. They're not getting enough shots on goal, and the ones that they are getting aren't good. Certainly from a defensive standpoint, the Wings are playing far superior tonight than they have probably so far in this series thus far. The Wings are up. I don't know how much they can stay up. They appear to be very tired, and they have all through the series, but they certainly don't look that tired tonight. Let's hope that they can stretch this one for 2 more periods of play.
Before we have that opening draw, let's take time out for this. The Ron Duquette for the absent Ralph Lawler. Rochester moving to our left. And the draw between Hickey and number 6, Kevin Parsons. Flipped up into the corner. There goes Glenn Ferguson with Jan McGee. And Philadelphia's success in the first period. And there's an errant pass thrown away in there by Hickey, and it looked like Rochester will gain possession when it appeared Philadelphia had the ball. Parsons winding up, shot, and saved by Platt. Flips up into the air off his stick, and he gets the carom on the way down and plays off to Krasny. 6-4 Philadelphia. This is it. The Wings lose, it's all over, and Rochester wins the Nations Cup. Philadelphia win, and they go at it for the 7th and final game at Philadelphia on Tuesday. 14 seconds on the clock. We're going to get a shot. And a fine save on the low drive off the stick of Paul Jones by Merv Marshall. That's Parsons. And Rochester quickly always changing on the go, particularly from offense to defense. And that may give them that shape edge in the last period. There's a drive. Platt again, the high shoulder save, and it came off a drive by Len Powers or Brian Wilson, number 15. Philadelphia, of course, playing the deliberate style. And doing so, you hope to slow the pace down and keep Rochester from doing the thing it does best, run. That's Larry Lloyd to Carm Collins. I'm sure Bobby Allen would like to have had Carm in full pedal. Carm working around, fades off to Terry Lloyd. There's a drive, and that's an easy one. Marshall read it all the way. Those are not percentage shots against Marshall. He sends Foot away, picked up by Carm Collins, cutting to the inside. Stops. Screened by McCormick, number 3. Goulding picks up Foot. Now with the ball along the near side and losing it in the corner is Al Gordonier. We played 1 minute 40 seconds into the second period. No scoring here. Wings on top, 6-4. There's Terry Rowland with 2 already tonight. Gets the screen. There's his shot. And again, that low drive right into the midsection of Merv Marshall. He fades up the Foot. He's got a man breaking off the bench. He's in and can't handle the ball, and that was Rick Bisson. And there you see that change on the go used so effectively, and that time legally, by Morley Kills.
Well, they were able to get that shot away. Not a very effective pass, and of course Bisson missed the shot.
You're watching Championship Wings Lacrosse on WTAF TV, Channel 29 in Philadelphia. There's a pass to Wasson. Backhand shot. Blocked. Picked up by Hinkson. He's going to drive. And that's blocked. And another shot by Grant is whistled wide. There's Jones right in front of Wasson. And now we've got the shot to land off. Goes Rochester. They've got a 3-on-3. That play is on, I believe. And you better pick him up. That's Brian Bowman. He's going to go in and score. The Wings gave a goal away by not playing alert defense.
It certainly wasn't. Now, they might not have thought that the play was underway. There was a pile-up in front of the Rochester net. Two players caught back, and everybody came to sort of a stop, but Bowman kept going, and he eluded the play. There he goes, and there's the shot. And I don't even think Platt was aware of the fact that the game was still on.
But the key, regardless of what you thought, when a man coming down the court with a ball, you keep your eagle eye on him, and the Wings did not.
You can't stop playing this game, Gene. You got to be going all the time and aware of what's going on.
2:38 the time of the goal. The first here in the second period. The Wings are led by 4. And that 6-2 lead now cut to the barest minimum. Jones is in. Shot right into the midsection. And the reason for the whistle is that Jones got the carom off Merv Marshall in his midsection while he's in the crease. I'd pass up. There's Glenn Newman. Krasny guarding him. Off, he cuts inside. Watch out now. He's in. As soon as he turns, he'll take that shot. Krasny did a good job of holding him away. Now there's a drive by Jan McGee, 5. Down low on the screen, and Platt made the save and flips out quickly to Paul Jones. We've played 3:15 into the second period, 6-5 Wings. That lead was at 4, now stands at 1. Jones being guarded by Len Powers. Shovel shot right into Merv Marshall's midsection. They're hitting him in the tummy all right, and they're not picking corners.
He's had about 4 shots thus far in this period. Here's a breakaway.
Wilson did come out of the box on a legal change. The Wings picked it up, but just in time. Graham Garrett gets the screen. He'll shoot way high of the net. And it hits loose in front. Oh, a great save off foot. As for the second time, he got a carom by himself in front of the net. Line pass, and it's loose in the corner, and we've got a charge against Glenn Newman by Larry McCormick. Now, you know, Jones did not throw a punch. McCormick threw it all, but in the idiosyncrasies of hockey and lacrosse, they'll both go up 5 for fighting.
I still don't think Jones knew there was a fight on. He was still in the ball game. And
that's Ferguson.
That's Ferguson, all right.
Now, McCormick was the aggressor, and I would think certainly he should, whatever penalties are involved, he should get more.
He won't. That's not the way it's in the rule book that they'll probably get both 5 minutes for fighting. Let's have a short break here for commercial.
Back here, Philadelphia. Collins in! Shot, and Merv Marshall is saved. The penalties, coincidental majors, as we'll give them to you in a moment. Pass in, and a shot, score! Terry Rowland with a hat trick. And you know what? If we see that again, it appeared as Merv Marshall read a long shot to the far side, and Bill Foote or Gare got a piece of it, and the short shot went to the near side and into the net, fooling Marshall.
Well, again, Marshall appeared to be somewhat asleep on the play. Now, I'm sure he wasn't. These goaltenders have to anticipate the shot. We're not going to get a replay, but certainly Marshall didn't look very alert on it at all. Here comes Philly.
Rolling in front, and he had Terry Lloyd who took his eye off the ball. Battling there, bucked hard by Tom Farrell. Be called for violation of interference, and we Philadelphia ball. Lloyd got one assist. There's a shot, and the save was made, and that one came off Rowland and picked up by Larry Lloyd. Lloyd with a bad shot as he was screened off, and he had plenty of time on the shot clock. Taken off and up breaks Rochester. They trail 7-5. That's Brian Bowman who just scored. Shoots again. And off, watch out. We had it lost, but As Platt circled away, the ball was in the crease, but even though you know no offensive player can go in there, Ron, when they're there and the ball is loose, you hold your breath.
Wilfong had his stick in, of course, and that's a no-no. You can't do that. So the Philadelphia Wings retain the ball, and now they bring it back.
That's John Grant, who scored once tonight. Out comes Tim O'Grady. Pass in front, shot! And we've got a crease violation as the pass went to Barry Richardson, and he was in there, and Rochester takes possession. Parsons out there with Keegan along the near side, number 4. That's Glenn Newman with the ball now, and he's got Jan McGee on the far side. Feeding to Brian Keegan. Oh, there's a shot. That's wide as he used the screen nicely. Ball loose out here. Shot clock still showing 13 seconds left. Pass to Kevin Parsons. He's dangerous. Picked up by Grant. Now picked up by Watson on a good switch defensively. 4 seconds. Now he'll shoot. Lets it go. And the save was made, and thus they'll rewind the clock. And let's see who has it. Philadelphia. Watson breaking with Hinkson. 2-on-2. Trying to break past his man. Whacked that by Jan McGee. Cutting inside. And he just doesn't have the bull to get in once the speed gets him there. He's taken off by a stronger physical man. That's Grant. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. 7-5. Winding up. There's a shot. That's wide. Gets his own carom. He'll pivot around, go high. The shot clock rewinds. There's a backhand shot. That's blind. And the rebound comes out on the far side to Tim O'Grady. I didn't see that shot hit the goal, but they rewound the clock.
That didn't appear to hit the goal to me either, but the referee saw it differently. He was a little closer.
That's Mike Collins into Grant. Grant double teamed as he tries to play pivot. He's held. The ball bounces into Merv Marshall, who grabs. We'll rewind the shot clock. Rochester trying to get it, and Grant took a poke at it. Went out of the box, and here comes Rochester. Quickly, fresh men out, and that may tell eventually. That's Gare. Gordon here breaks for the net. Gare along the near side, trying to get by O'Grady. Picked up by Grant. Now falls off. Right in front, a shot! Oh, all by himself again, and that's Bill Foote. He's planted there all night. He's with the ball now. And it was. Foote's up. There's a shot and a score by Gordon here.
Pretty goal.
And Rochester's found a soft underbelly as they've had men, mostly Bill Foote, right in that slot all night.
Bill Foote has missed 2 or 3 golden opportunities. Here's this goal now. Gordon here and a beautiful save, shot at least. And, of course, the Rochester Griffins come within 1 now of tying this ball game all up.
For Gordonier, it's his 10th goal of the series. Foote and Gare get the assist. And Foote has a goal and an assist, but if he had any kind of shooting luck tonight, he'd have 3 goals. But they're drawing Philadelphia away, and you know, in the first part of the series, they weren't sending a man through. They were working open side and taking the long shot. Now they have Philadelphia reading that and sending the man in the middle to break him free. 7-6. There's a check. Ball broken free off Wharton by Krasny. Spins away nicely from watch out. And then you throw that blind pass to the man with his back to the ball.
Very dangerous.
Here comes Henderson up the middle. He'll drive from right there. Score!
A bounce shot from about 15 feet out, close in. And young Charlie Henderson, number 14, ties the game up, and these fans here in Rochester go crazy. Here's the score. Bounce right off the floor, as you can see it. Wayne Platt very dejected. We now have a tie ball game.
Well, Philadelphia at one juncture led 6-2. So Rochester has now outscored them in their splurge by 5-1. Ryan Bowman got 1 assist on that for Henderson's first point of the playoff series. And again, it was that bad pass to Paul Jones on a blind. The man obviously going to take him right out. And Philadelphia had possession, gave it up, and Rochester scored. There's Goulding. And of course, now Rochester has to be inspired to tougher D. Shot, hit the crossbar. Rebounded out, and a great recovery by Jan McGee. Up to Parsons, 1-on-1. He'll break. He'll try to take it in. Got a man in front. There's a pass blindly behind Glenn Newman. Far side pass. There's a drive. Rick Bisson, and Rochester leads 8-7.
Ricky Bisson, number 11. A blistering shot from a way out, and boy, the Rochester Griffins now appear to have momentum. Here's the shot now. Watch it. There it goes. And that's a blister. Ricky Bisson
Well, they only had 4 goals the first 20 minutes, but they picked up 4 here in the first 8 minutes and 6 seconds of period number 2.
Well,
now the Wings would like to get back quickly and get that tie. Not allow Rochester, with this fan support now and realizing adrenaline means a Nations Cup, like to get that one back. And look at that misread by Tim O'Grady, who took his eye off the ball as he tried to roll it to Wayne Platt and almost coughed it up. Here comes Grant. Pass to Wasson. There's Hinkson. Scored! A great play.
Good passing.
Wasson to Hinkson. It's tied.
You know, it almost appeared with that mix-up down at the other end by Tim O'Grady that they were going to lose possession. They got the ball up very, very quickly. Here's this passing play, and Hinkson tucks it in. A tremendous goal.
Let's take time out now for this. And Platt with a big save, and Bowman was really taken down, and he appears hurt. And there was a big flash of bodies in there as Brian Bowman tried to go through a maze of players. And maybe if we have a rerun of that, we'll see just how he took the bump. 8-8 the score, and that time Hinkson, who picked up his 5th goal of the playoff series. Great pass, Grant to Wasson, Wasson in front. And there's Brian Bowman, who's shaking the cobwebs. Well, we didn't have the play in front. Just off the camera there is Mr. Bowman.
He's going to be all right. I think he probably just had the wind knocked out of him. Here he comes. Caught one in the midsection.
You know, in hockey, when you come in and shoot, you're vulnerable, but your arms are down. But here, usually, you're shooting with your arms up. And if you get hit in the breadbasket or on the side, your ribs taken, and you're really more vulnerable, I think, than any other sport. All right, Wings trying to take the lead again. That's Mike Collins, 8-8 the score, being worked on in there by Foote. Gets in, but as he breaks through, the ball is taken away and a good chop from behind, and that's Philadelphia's play now as up comes Jan McGee. That's number 11. Jones picking him up. There's Kevin Parsons. Score! And I don't know if you could see it that quickly, but Parsons, rather than letting the ball settle, almost took a swing at it on the moving pass and tucked it past Wayne Platt for his 3rd goal of the night. Watch this. There he goes. Boom. And he just directed it into the net for a great goal to make it 9-8. His 3rd goal along with an assist. And Rochester again takes that 1-goal edge. 9:20. We haven't reached the halfway point yet. By Hickey and Foote. Pass off to Krasny. 3-on-2. Gordonier going to catch him. Score! Krasny on a solo effort.
Boy, they're just one after the other.
And each time Philadelphia falls behind, they come back quickly to knot it. And for Joe Krasny, his 1st goal of the final round.
Well, couldn't have been a better time to get it. Tying this ball game up. This has just been a tremendous there's the goal. A tremendous second period, Gene. Rochester starting off very poorly, of course, in the first period. And coming back, and boy, I'll tell you, it's hot out there, and these fellas are really playing a whale of a game.
Well, Hickey got the assist. It's his 1st point of the playoff round. Krasny's 1st goal. There's a screen set up against Zenny Lipinski by Warden, and coming over as Merle Marshall came to attack was Charlie Henderson. He has a goal tonight. Missed the first 4 games through injuries. Working against Paul Jones. Pivots, knocks Jones off. Winding up. Shot. Bounces over the net. It'll be Philadelphia ball. Conditioning has to tell, and maybe superior usable manpower late in the game. As we said, no air conditioning here. Very hot in the building, and the pace here, I would think, is one that down the stretch might favor Rochester. Here comes Terry Rowland, who, like Kevin Parsons has 3 goals. Terry right in front to Lloyd. Shot. Marshall tucked tight against the short side post. And protected and saved, and it's still 9-9. 9:40 left. Here comes Tommy Fair. Slashed at by Rowland. Shot on the blind. As obviously now Morley Kells, I think, has just told him, run, go, wear him out, and we'll grab him in the third period.
Well, that's their style, Gene. They play the running game, and if you can curtail it, here they come now, you're going to beat them. This is Wilfong with the ball.
Possessions of the ball or loss of possessions on good defensive plays you take as part of the game, but when you cough them up on your own errors, in this kind of situation, they're painful. That's Keegan, picked up by Hickey. Side of the net, he's got Glenn Newman there, but Glenn was shielded off by Larry Lloyd. Parsons sets up a screen. Right in front is Wilson by himself, and he couldn't take the ball, and you could read that. Terry Rowland, as he had a man down court fighting for the ball, taken away by Parsons. And we're going to have a penalty against Rowland for slashing. And you'll see Merv Marshall coming out off camera. And shortly Rochester will have a 6 forward out there. Keegan, now here he comes. The 6 forward is Gare. Winds up. Shot high. Off Wayne Flat's shoulder. Now Rowland will go off at 11:23 for slashing.
Well, gee, this is one of those questionable calls now. We've had a lot of slashing tonight, and this is the first one that I think has been deserving that has been called. And Terry Rowland's playing a heck of a ball game. He's scored 3 goals, so playing a very aggressive game, and I don't really think that he felt that he was going to get called in that play. But however, maybe the referees are going to try to slow it down just a little.
Terry has his head buried, and just to his left, that's Bill Dix, the official of the NLL, who's in the penalty box to see that order and law is kept. Don't bite your fingernails, Bill. You're supposed to be an impartial rooter, and anyone who bites his fingernails is not.
Only the coaches are doing that tonight.
Morley Kells, perhaps dressed up for pictures, has on a dapper blue checked shirt with a white collar, all of the gay 90s style. Ball free, Lipinski going after it. He's taken down, and we're going to have a violation against Rochester, as Lipinski seemed to have Bill Foote angled, and Foote took him down, and so the Wings have it in forecourt. And now let's see if they can indeed try to keep from getting trapped. Bad man to have the ball in the board area. You can get double teamed too easily. And Wasson gets right out of there quickly. Wasson cannot get jammed against the boards. See, he's going to get pushed out. Now he's got to break free. Now look at him slash out there. We've got McCormick banging away at John Grant. Great job by little Jimmy Wasson. Get away from the boards. He was grabbed and taken off. Still with it, but finally loses it. But killed 30 seconds of precious time off that Philadelphia penalty. Now Morley Kells will send out his attack unit. And the leader right now is Gordonier. Fair goes off.
Bisson and O'Grady just about came to blows out there. Some pretty tough checking.
There's Brian Wilson to Gordonier. Yeah, now Wilfong will shoot. Very weak. And it bounced over Platt's stick as he appeared to have it, and Rochester in possession. 2 seconds, 1 second, that'll do it. 30-second, and now Philadelphia has 10 seconds. Up, we've got a timeout, as Bisson in the corner appears to have done a little knee damage. And as he tried to stand up on that left foot, you could see it buckle a little bit. Rick Beeson, he's a tough little devil. While we find out just what the story is with Rick, late in the second period, 9-9 the score, and we'll pause for this. Back here, shot. Great save off Rowland. as he was sent in free, trying to get free, and kicked it, and it will be Philadelphia ball, not because Rowland kicked it, but because his stick was being held. All right, clock is running, 6:25 remaining second period, 9-9 to score. Shot by Larry Lloyd, not a good percentage one, and the save was made. Lloyd doesn't seem to have the mustard on those shots.
No, not at all. Both the Lloyd brothers aren't shooting well at all tonight, and they didn't the other night as well. They're tired, they're hurting, and it's showing.
Wilfong in front. He's got his man there. The ball poked free as Glenn Ferguson put a good check on Charlie Henderson. Marvelous game. Great checking, good shooting, tough defense, and worthy of what might be the final game of a final series. Philadelphia fans say no. Pass to Lipinski. No place to shoot. Fades over to Terry Lloyd. He's there. Shot right into Merv Marshall. He steps out. That ball's no man's free. A shot, a score! Did you see that? Terry Lloyd took the ball away out of the edge of the crease, jumped up and shot it over Merv Marshall for Terry's first of the night, and for the playoff series, number 7, unassisted, and the Wings lead at 10-9.
Merv Marshall not able to get there. He just picked it up, Mr. Lloyd, and tucked it in, and that's a great goal. And of course, the Philadelphia Wings now go ahead 10-9, and Marshall pretty upset about not being able to retrieve that ball and drag it in.
All right. Terry Lloyd, who also, like his brother, has been kept under wraps in this series. Terry, that time, as we announced, picking up number 7. But for Terry to have only 7 goals, here he comes. Watch it. Jones. Oh, and that one was deflected, and it will be Rochester ball. Even though you catch part of the shooter's stick, unless it's the ball, then it's just as if the shooter knocked it out. In other words, if a man were coming down, as you see Hockelick doing now with the ball, and you hit his stick and the ball flips out of the rink, it's off Hockelick, and it would be Philadelphia's ball. That's Keegan. He's a whippet. You'll never see him much on defense, but he's quick, and he likes to lead fast break. Breaks away from Lipinski with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Playing right in. There's Newman. Score! And they're working through that middle on a good pass, and he shot going away from the net to tie it at 10. And for Newman in the series, that's his 6th goal.
Well, that's a tough shot, Gene. He was on his offside, and there it is, a difficult angle. He just tucked it in. And I think that Wayne Platt probably didn't cut the angle off as well as he'd have liked to on that shot. He tried to get over a little too far, and of course he left that nice, neat little opening. And another tie ball game.
And that time it was fed back by Gare to Merv Marshall. Rochester 10-10 to score with 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Have a chance. Up, we've got what do we got, a fight in the corner? No, we've got men losing their sticks. Shot hit the crossbar, and we took our eye off the play as Brady in that far corner with McCormick took their sticks and were teed off the fight, and the play was still going on. That's Foote. He'll get a shot. Can't. Screened off by big John Grant. 15 seconds on the shot clock. They're working very effectively to the man breaking through the middle. He spun around, now drops back to Gary. He'll wind up. Shot on the screen. Catches John Grant. He gets the carom off his own body and starts up 3-on-2. Doesn't have anybody to go to us. They cut the angle off nicely. Now he's got a man breaking on the far side. Couldn't hit him soon enough. There's Hinkson. Hinkson is hit in the head by McCormick, and McCormick will go off. And McCormick's been a real hatchet man in the series. And picks up 2 for high stick or slash. And believe it or not, it is the first time in the evening that Philadelphia will have the one-man advantage on the odd man or power play.
Well, that was a vicious attack, and I don't know whether that just merits a 2-minute penalty or not. We'll have to wait, but he really took a tough swipe at Hinkson.
Watch it, right there, right on the top of the head.
Hinkson wears a well-molded, very large face mask in front of his helmet, so he's well protected, but certainly he would have felt that one.
McCormick already picked up 7 minutes in this period for a little fight with Glenn Ferguson.
He almost had another one just earlier when the gloves came off, and I don't think anybody realized that the other was interested in a fight, so they went back to playing lacrosse.
Now here's where Maury Kells has been able to hold off the outstanding Philadelphia power play, because when he gets the ball, he brings his goaltender out, gambles with an empty net to have that extra player to kill time, and thus put 1-on-1 instead of Philadelphia having 5 defenders against 4 attackers. But he evens it up by pulling the goaltender. All right, let's go now. Ryan Robinson not out there. Place taken by Ferguson on that far corner. There's Grant. He's in. Shot blocked. Rebound. Carom's out to the far side. There goes to Ferguson. Back to Grant. He'll shoot again. Oh, that whistle's wide. And if John Grant could be on the net. We've got 20 seconds left on the shot clock. 3.5 minutes in the second period. 1:20 remaining on the Rochester penalty. 10-10 the score. There's Grant to Ferguson. Shot wide. And every one of the Philadelphia 3-4 shots on that power drive was off. There we got a man coming out. And you saw that beautiful play as they break out of the players' bench just as soon as someone gets there, and that's a fast breaker. We understand, Ron, to interject that they're going to try next year to institute a rule where that man breaking off the bench would be a non-receiver.
Well, I talked to Skeets Harrison between periods, and he says no, so we'll have to wait and see.
Grant, make that Terry Lloyd. Shot! 5 shots wide. There's another one blocked. Into the corner. Rowland gets it himself. 7 seconds on the shot. Got a man out there. Lloyd will have to take it quick. Score! Terry Lloyd!
2 seconds left on the shot clock, and he got that one away. Let's have a little break right here.
Now, the replay score by Terry Lloyd. It's his second of the night, his second of the period. The Wings' first power play goal, and they lead 11-10. They've been outscored in this period by the count of 6-5, but they've taken the lead. Ball loose. That's Keegan. Chopped away from him, and watch this bump in the corner. Lipinski didn't want to go after Keegan and be called for interference. Ball broken free, and there's Burb Marshall. That big fish basket. That's how you pull trout out of those big streams up in Canada.
That's right, Gene. Lots of them, too.
Parsons, who has 3 goals and an assist, top point getter of the evening with 4, gets the screen, winds up. Now he's picked up by Tim O'Grady. Very deliberate. Now he breaks free. Now he's held, double teamed. Man in front, all alone. And he doesn't get the shot, McCormick. And they keep drawing Philadelphia out and getting that free basket. Lipinski tried to scoop the ball free and finally does, but not as he had hoped. At the net, but back at his own goaltender. Down goes McCormick, as Mike Collins did well there to take a high bouncing pass and protect with his chest. 1:40 remaining in an outstanding game, and particularly the second period. Rochester coming back to take the lead. They're trailing by 4, and the Wings coming back to take it right away from them. Right in front. That's Hinkson trying to make the move. Make that Glenn Ferguson. Pass to Collins. Karma shot. And the save is made, and Carm picked up his first point of the playoff round in this finals with an assist tonight. He has not scored, and he's just playing really a shadow of himself, but maybe some of Carm Collins is better than none at all. Gare, number 10. 17 coming right in your screen is Terry Lloyd. Gare wants to go one-on-one. He's in! Score! Right through Wayne Platt's legs. And I don't think Wayne was happy with that. Gare shot, and Wayne just opened up the gates, and down she went, and we're tied at 11. And for Graham Gare, in the evening, that's his first goal with 2 assists for 3 points. Watch it. And you can see Platt seemed to feel he guessed wrong on that one. Gare's 6th goal of the playoffs. He has 8 assists for 14 points. 11-11. Well, it would appear to seem, unless we have a wild and woolly last minute in 5 seconds, team with the greater stamina and the one that wants it the most is going to win it. As we figure to go into the last period, almost even Steven. Ball in that melee, finally picked up by Terry Rowland. Last minute of play in the period. Terry gets a screen. He's got a man there in front. Shot! Oh, and a great save, but it didn't matter as Marshall forced Terry Lloyd to deke enough to take him into the crease. Pass and a wild one intended for Amanda. Breaks free, and Rochester will get it back as they threw the ball away, and the Wings weren't able to capitalize on the loose ball. 35 seconds remaining in the period. Wings led by 2 coming in. Flip pass, wrap around, knocked free. Ball still loose, and Philadelphia trying to get it. It was blocked by Kevin Parsons. That finally pops up into the stick with 20 seconds left in the period of Carm Collins. Arm right up the middle. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Pass to Grant. Shot, and John Grant misses as he just is not on target. Ball free in the air. Broken away by Larry Lloyd. Still fighting for it. Nobody's going to get a shot. 2, 1, and the period is over. As the buzzer sounds to end a bristling second period, with the score, the Philadelphia Wings 11 and the Rochester Griffins 11. There you have it. It was 6-4 at the end of the first period. And in the second period, actually it was 6-2 at one juncture. And Rochester came on to get 2 goals, one by Parsons and one by Bill Foote. So it was 6-4 at the end of the first period. 3 penalties called, 2 to Philadelphia. There was 1 power play goal, that against the Wings, scored by Rick Beeson. The shots were 18 to 15 for Philadelphia. Period, Rochester. Total of 40.
Third of play. Thanks for joining us. My guest, Ziggy Musial of the Toronto Tomahawks. Now let's take a moment for this break.
Back here at the Rochester War Memorial, we're awaiting the return of the teams in what could be the final period of box lacrosse for this 1974 season. The score is 11-11. Rochester with a victory would win the Nations Cup 4-2. And we hope you'll hang on, because regardless of what happens this evening, we have arranged to have a camera down on the dressing room areas to let you meet many of the Wings who were not able to join us on the telecast because of their playing activities. And if it's in a losing cause, I know they're going to want to very much thank Philadelphia for their reception. And of course, the winner will be a little more jovial. They'll talk about that 7th and deciding game at the Spectrum on Tuesday. Many changes afoot next year. There may be an expanded schedule. There are certainly going to be some franchise switches. Rochester, Syracuse, and Toronto all appeared headed elsewhere, as attendance-wise, Philadelphia #1, Rochester or Montreal #2, and Maryland #3 did a job. Tonight's tonight, and of course, most apropos place under the seal of the city of Rochester, which is on the stage end to our right. It's one of these combination auditorium stages, ballparks, arenas, and the like. The former home of the Rochester Royals of the National Basketball Association. And of course, the Royals then went on to Cincinnati. Now they're the Omaha Kansas City Kings. Maurice Stokes, among one of the brilliant stars to have performed in this building. And of course, the nearby city along the Mohawk, Syracuse, the Syracuse Gnats, and the Rochester the Rochester Royals made great rivals. And of course, Syracuse came eventually down to Philadelphia to become the Philadelphia 76ers. Ron Duquette, who's joined us, in case you're wondering about the absent Ralph Lawler. Ralph had the pleasure this afternoon, along with Herb Adderley, on WCAU Radio, to do the Temple victory over Boston College 34-7. And for the second straight road game, we've been joined by Ron Duquette, the voice of the Toronto Tomahawks of the National Lacrosse League. Ron, while you're joining us, we have already buried the Toronto franchise, and I wonder if that's true, or what have been the guesses as to the city in which the Jim Bishop Chargers will be playing next year.
Well, certainly all the rumors that I've heard lean towards the city of Long Island, and I know that they've done all the feasibility studies, and that looks to be a very lucrative situation down there. I would have to say that Toronto are going to go to Long Island. It hasn't been officially announced, but I think it's that close.
Well, they have the Mets and the Jets and the Sets and a girls softball team named the Pets. And I just wonder what's left.
Well, I guess Toronto are going to have to change their name to something else, and perhaps it'll be along the same lines as some of these other clubs have been called. But I know the reception wasn't too exciting in Toronto. They're looking forward to a much better season in year 2 of the National Lacrosse League.
I would think probably in New York, the Garden or Uniondale, box lacrosse would go well because the fans beat each other with sticks in New York during hockey games. They ought to enjoy seeing it done professionally on the ice.
Well, certainly the fans down there, too, are used to lacrosse, the field version, and they're somewhat familiar with the rules. I really think that they'd find this a very exciting game. Of course, they're very familiar and aware of the game of hockey, so it appears to me that hockey fans have been able to attach themselves to this game very, very easily. And I don't think there's any doubt that that whole market, that whole area, will take to this game very much.
All right, we're set to go. Rochester moving to our right, Philadelphia to the left. 11-11 the score, so we may be down to the last 20 minutes of play, but could have overtime and sudden death. We might play till next Tuesday. But we will have a winner tonight. So don't go away. That is Phil Hockeluk, 20, and Jim Hickey, the Wings' #1 face-off man. And Hickey whacks at it. It's still loose. Newman pokes it free, and that's Len Powers. And I would think the opening goal psychologically in this period with the game tied would be big, and if either team could get 2 or 3 quickies, tremendous pressure. Big bump, but Parsons breaks free and shoots wide as the Wings doubled up on Hockeluk on that side, and Newman, and left Parsons free to take a drive from the left face-off circle. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 8, 7. Now they've broken a man. Oh, right on in is McGee. Score.
Pretty goal. Now, you saw the one Rochester Griffin draw the 2 men away from the opening, and of course Jan McGee found the opening and scooted right in and tucked it away. And that's a perfect play. Here we go.
And he ran right by Larry Ferguson and Paul Jones. Maybe a cardinal defensive error. You cut that alley off. You angle them off, but they didn't. So Rochester draws first blood at 31 seconds of the third period to lead 12-11. And for McGee, his first goal of the night. And in the playoff series, that gives Jan his first goal. All right, now it's 12-11. That's Brian Wilson to Gare. Rochester deliberately working outside. They've got a screen set up in front. Off, here he comes. Oh, and he shot wide as he had Platt drawn out, but a good bump at the last second by Larry Lloyd made him lose position. And for the second time, Rochester has the ball. They've owned it for the whole minute. 4 seconds left. The shot, Platt the save, and this time Philadelphia finally gets the ball and have a drive up the box to see if they can tie it. Quick pass up to Terry Lloyd. Got brother Larry in the far corner. Loses the ball. Here comes Brian Wilson. 4 on 3. Right up the middle. 5 on 3. Pass to McCormick. Couldn't handle it. Gets it back. Right in front. Winds up. And Platt the save. And again, those deadly open shots as they're literally shaking hands with Platt at the edge of the crease as they sneak behind the defense. All right, we've got Hinkson with the ball. That's Wilfong just coming into your picture, feeding to Jimmy Watson, who has 1 goal tonight. Off here to Barry Richardson, and John Grant now joining them. Richardson, double teamed. He better get rid of the ball. Back to Grant. Shot. And Grant must have taken his last 7 or 8 shots wide of the net. And there's the shot violation. And the wide shots particularly hurt on the power play in the last waning seconds of period number 2.
Well, I don't know whether it's a hook or a slice, but he's going to have to work it out of his net or his stick, because he's got to start getting him on the net if he's going to score.
There's a drive, bounced way wide of the net, and it came off the stick of foot, and it will be Philadelphia ball as it bounced out of the box. There's Hinkson flipping off to John Grant. Rochester by 1, 12-11. Grant in the corner. It's Brian Bowman picking him up, sweeping him off the net. He's curling in. He's got Hinkson right there. He works right around his man. In shot. And Fair came over nicely to double team and break it up. And what they're doing, the weak side defender, if Grant turns his man, comes to double team. There's a pass, rolling past Charlie Henderson and covered by Wayne Platt. As Grant, working at an angle left to right, peels past his man. Again, the weak side defender comes over to pick him up and take him off the play. 20 seconds on the shot clock. That's Watson. He's got Tim O'Grady screening for him in front. 13 seconds on the shot. Pass right in front to Hinkson. Shot is awry, and out comes Kevin Parsons. Pass break up to McGee. McGee cross-check, taken down, and loses the ball, and that's gutsy little Jimmy Wasson.
He's the Tiger.
150 soaking wet. And with lead weights in his pocket. Larry Ferguson up along the left boards. Picked up by Keegan, number 17, facing you. In the corner, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Paul Jones. Blind shot, blocked and scooped up by Kevin Parsons, feeding Merv Marshall. And Marshall is whacked at as Philadelphia is going to try to go after him every chance they can. Freshman on the court for Rochester. That's Keegan feeding over to Gordonier on the far side. McCormick is out there. There's Gordonier, worked on by Lipinski. McCormick in front of the net. There's Gordonier still right out in front in the crease. And as he went down, he shot, but the whole play academic. Once he went into that crease, he violated the rules, and back comes Philadelphia. 4-on-3. Quickly, Ferguson looking for Lipinski. Double teamed and taken right off the ball. Philadelphia's offensive patterns breaking down. Defense by Rochester is sharp. Right up the middle, Bill Foote. This is Graham Gare. He'll drive. Save by Wayne Platt. Philadelphia doesn't want Rochester to get out in the lead by too far. They are now up by 1, 12-11. We've played 4:25 into the third period. The only goal here coming off the stick of Jan McGee. And I would think just because of the pressure, there won't be a lot of scoring in this last period.
Well, I think they're going to concentrate on defense and that quick break and keep it down.
6 seconds. Roland again losing the ball, and Philadelphia not getting shots as they try to roll into the middle, and Rochester has it well clogged. Out comes fresh troops again. Wings have out there Carm Collins, Terry Rowland 27, Terry Lloyd and Larry Lloyd 17 and 4 respectively, and Bob Goulding 32. That's Paul Warden. Flipping into Fair. Score! What a great shot. Tommy Fair on a reverse shot, 13-11, and we pause for this. Warden. And now Rochester by 2, and the Wings are going to have to get one of these back very quickly. That's Jeff Newman. Glenn Newman going in. He's got McGee. Shot wide. These fans here, there are not many of them before they make a lot of noise. And well, they should, as they sense they're 14 minutes away from a championship. It was the second by Rochester in a week. Their baseball team, the Red Wings, won the Governor's Cup. There's a shot by Terry Lloyd. And it hits the goaltender Marshall on the screen, but winds back to Jimmy Wasson. He's out in front. At his man, flips. There's a shot by Glenn Ferguson as he pared out the open corner, and Merv Marshall covered it. Marlin steps on the ball. Keegan is knocked off, picks it up, and again Philadelphia loses when they have the opportunity of a shot. 14-5 left in the third period. Wings trail by 2, 13-11. That's McCormick with the ball, rangy 6'3". Over to Bill Hockelick, picked up by Glenn Ferguson, number 8. He'll go the low shot. He always scoops low if he can get it. Ball poked free. Here comes Philadelphia. Terry and Larry Lloyd for the ball. Here comes Merv Marshall. And we've got a 30-second shot violation against Rochester. And I think that buzzer saved a big collision there.
It sure did. I'm pretty certain that Merv Marshall was happy to hear it. He might have been caught well off guard on that play.
Stay with us at the end of the game. One way or another, we're going to be down in the dressing room. That's John Grant. He's got a shot right there and hits Merv Marshall in the midsection again.
That's a big save, a very big save at this point in the game.
There's a pass up to Wilfong. 13:20 left. Another goal, and Rochester would be in the catbird seat, particularly with that smell of championship. There's a play being made on that far side. Tim O'Grady, a bad pass to Henderson. He scoops it up with 5 seconds on the shot clock. 4. Rochester's going to lose without a shot. 3, 2, 1, and there it is. And there's a violation in Philadelphia now. The clock, we've played 7:05 into the third period. Rochester scored the only goals and leads at 13-11. They trailed 6-2 at one point. That's John Grant. Brian Bowman getting checked off. Grant with a shot, and those are poor percentage shots, and we've got a break by Wilfong, and he picked up the ball. But again, you got to have it before you can run with it.
Grant's still having a hard time finding that net.
And of course, since Wilfong did not gain possession, the shot clock continued to wind its way out against Philadelphia. Here comes Dan McGee. Got the first goal in the period. That was a big one. Peeling off is Len Powers, trying to hit back. Pass block, under scoop shot, and Flat made the save. A good drive in there by Lenny Powers. Wings are just psychologically going to have to put one in soon, because they see that clock working against them. They trail 13-11. There's a shot. That's wide. Rebound off the glass. We've got a break. There's a man all alone. And going in is a man. He loses the ball. Boom. And that was Glenn Newman. And we'll probably have a draw ball. But Newman had Wayne Platt all by his lonesome and couldn't control the ball. Break for Philadelphia. We'll have a draw in the near circle with 11:46 remaining in the third period, and Rochester leading 13-11.
He looked a little bit tired in that corner. He certainly didn't appear to be too interested in picking up that ball in front of the net. He still had a chance to pick up the ball and get the shot away, but of course it got away from him into the corner, and we're going to have a face-off now. Of course, 13-11 is the score. We're midway through the third period.
You saw that tight end activity. Ball loose, and Pisson has it for Rochester. Worked over by Paul Jones, a number 11. Still there, still trying to find it. Boom! And along the near side, scooped up by Hickey. He's not an offensive player. Tries to hit Lipinski. Lipinski in, shot. And Marshall had it all the way as Gordonier was bothering Zenny too much to make a shot. Here comes Phil Foote. Far side pass, shot. Flat the save. That was Gordonier's blistering drive. Lipinski trying to knock off Foote, but picks up the ball, but he's by himself. Griffins back. 11 minutes remaining in the third period. Wings have not scored here in the first 9 minutes. They trail by the count of 13-11. Both goals in this period by Rochester. They're playing super defense and not allowing the Wings to get around Merv Marshall. Now out in front, shot by Ferguson, whistles wide, and caroms into the seats, and the Griffins take over.
Well, we're halfway through that third period, or just about halfway through, and the attendance here tonight, 2,525, a pretty dismal crowd for what could be a final playoff game in Rochester.
WTF-TV, Channel 29, Philadelphia. Watch this, he's in, and bounces it poorly over the top of the net, and that was Tommy Fair. You know, the crowds for the three games here total around 6,000, which didn't match a single game crowd in Philadelphia. 10:15 left in the third period. 13-11 in their yelling defense here. Back to Lloyd. Lloyd, who has very little to shoot about tonight, is in, and the Wings just can't find the net. As Larry Lloyd tonight has 2 assists and no goals, and John Grant 1 assist and 1 goal, and you need more from that pair. There's a shot with the shot clock winding down from Goulding. It's controlled by Merv Marshall. Wings have been shut out for 10 minutes and 10 seconds into this third period, and Rochester's gotten goals from Thor Warden, or make that from Tommy Fair and Jan McGee to lead it, 13-11. Rochester has 2, and they're going to be very careful and work hard for a third one. They lead by 2. They realize another goal could really put the heat on Philadelphia. Good screen. McGee now shoots. Flat the save, loose in front. And picked up again by Rochester. That's Glenn Newman. Shot clock rewinds. Newman cuts inside Goulding. He's in. Pass to Keegan. And he waited too long and was picked up by Newman. Here's Parsons. And he shot wide. He had a great opportunity. There's a pass. And the crease ball easily read as Glenn Newman was standing on that white line.
You notice the Rochester Griffins are getting the play set up when they get in on this goaltending goaltender, at least call Wayne Platt, and they're setting it up fast. They're getting those shots quickly away, and the shot clock, of course, is coming back in their favor.
John Grant working, desperately trying to get an opening. And again, Grant, as he has done continually. And once again, you have to read into that fatigue.
There's no doubt about it. These fellas are tired, and they're showing it tonight. There's a wild shot. Another example.
Well, O'Grady is seeing only 4 seconds left in the shot clock and loaded it wide. 8.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Rochester, with great defense, have shut out the Wings here in what may be the deciding 20 minutes of play in the NLL this year, and have gotten 2 goals and lead at 13-11. Pass into that corner. Trying to work. Is Fair, loses it. Gains it back, loose in front. Finally dug out by John Grant, who licks up the box. And he flips up to Barry Richardson. Richardson, cross box. Here comes Hinkson, working his way in and loses the ball. That's Charlie Henderson, 3-on-2, 2-on-1. That's Brian Wilson, 23 is Fair. Great steal by Grant. And the Wings have a 3-on-1. There's the pass to Wasson. Going in. Pass right in front to Hinkson, and they don't get the shot off. And you may remember that late in the game as probably or perhaps a turning puncture. Here comes the man, wrapped up, taking off the ball, but I would think now, Ron, you're literally going to have to draw blood to draw penalty.
There's no doubt about it. They've got to get a goal. Certainly a goal by the Wings would give them the momentum to perhaps go on and win this game. They're only down 2, but they've got to put that first one in, and they've missed some golden key opportunities thus far in the period.
Well, 13-11, 7:05 remaining third period. Wings must get 2. Pass to Jones, and Rochester not allowing them near the net. Jones back to Grant as they look to the big bellwether. They've got 4 seconds left. You'll have to shoot quick. Lets it go and hits the crossbar. Hit the crossbar, and we'll have a draw ball, and another inch lower, and Philadelphia had been within 1 as Grant made the good move and caught a piece of the pipe.
That's one of those discretionary calls again on the part of the 32nd man. The ball was shot, and just at the point of contact with the net, the clock switched around, so you can say which way does it go, which way doesn't it go, and of course, fortunately, it went out of the stands, and we're going to get the face-off, and here it is.
All right, there's a break by Gare. Loses the ball, running after. He's got a man alone in front. Beeson, he's in. He shoots. And Platt with a great save to keep Philadelphia close at 2 behind. Great save by Wayne Platt as Beeson was in by himself. And we have a crease violation in Philadelphia ball. 6:35 left. And with a defense thrown by Rochester, a goal then by Beeson might have been by Etis for Philadelphia. They have only 6.5 minutes. They have yet to bust the defense in this period. And Terry Rowland goes down. They battle for it in the corner. Beeson is there. And we may have a draw ball, but it's finally dug out by Beeson, who flips to Merv Marshall. 6:10 left in the third period. Rochester by 2. And Rochester will now take as much time as it needs. Time works for them and against Philadelphia. And, of course, tremendous pressure against the Wings. They know that they not only have to score 2, but they've got to keep Rochester from getting any more. Tommy Fair, he got the big goal, that backhanded goal that gave them a 2-goal lead. Bad angle shot wide, and at the 32nd expiration, we weren't looking in the clock, and Fair was, and that's why he took the bad shot to get something off at all. 5:40 left. Plenty of time to score a ton of goals, but the Wings have yet to get one here in the third period. They led in the first period 6-2. And since then, watch it, Lloyd and Marshall with a big save as they got that one on. Out comes Ferguson, double teaming, trying to throw the ball free, and Philadelphia with aggressive play by Glenn Ferguson. Get it again. There's Lloyd. Screen. He'll shoot. And Merv Marshall comes up with a big save. And, of course, every save now, or every change of possession of this 2,500 here, roar with approval.
You can imagine the pressure, Gene, on not only the goaltenders, but all of the players on the floor. Tremendous pressure.
5:10 left in regulation play. Kevin Parsons out there. There's Brian Keegan. Guarded by Barry Richardson, 15. Looking for a screen. Goes by Parsons. Right in front, there's McGee, and he couldn't take the shot. Parsons bounces one over the net as he was in the middle. And the ball breaks free in Philadelphia with 5 minutes left in the third period. Trail 13-11. They've been shut out here 2-0 in the last period. John Grant. behind the net by Len Powers. Trying to set up a screen. Watch it now. Takes the shot. Now he's in. Score! Johnny Grant in a solo effort makes it 13-12 and passing the seatbelts. It'll be a bumpy final 4 minutes as we take time out for this.
Well, a tremendous goal by Johnny Grant, his second of the night. And now the Rochester Griffins have only a 1-goal lead. And folks, get ready. We might just go into overtime tonight. You never can tell. Gene?
What a ding-dong playoff it's been for Philadelphia. They have to win tonight, and they have to score at least 2 more goals to do it. That's John Grant, who's right out back again. And they put big McCormick on him. And you can pretty well smell John's going to try to do it. He's got Wasson alone in front. Oh, there's a pass as McCormick grabbed a hold of Grant's shirt. Wasson bumps into Marshall, and Marshall is taken down, and now we've got a fight. As we've got Rick Bisson. He's big and bad going after that big giant Jimmy Watson.
Well, he didn't like the play on the part of Wasson, I guess, hitting his goaltender, but certainly Wasson didn't even know it was coming. He hit him from behind. He's a little fella. While there's excitement on the floor, let's take a break for this message.
Back here at Rochester, and maybe the loss of Poole has given Philadelphia a tremendous opportunity now, as the legal check against Wasson was retaliated against by Bisson, who really roughed him up and drew 2. So the Wings, who have 4:06 left in the third period and trail 13-12, have a power play opportunity now as Bisson picks up his second penalty and the 6th of the night, and there he is.
Well, Ricky Bisson obviously not too pleased about that, but it was rather a silly play, unnecessary. I think it was pretty obvious the check was a legal check, and one of the things about this game you just have to learn to accept, and he's got his team in a pretty precarious position right now. They only have a 1-goal lead, and of course they've got to kill off this penalty for 2 minutes. Here's the face-off.
All right, Philadelphia must get the ball, and they do. And out will come the power play unit, and this may be the ball game right here. If Philadelphia fails to score in this 2 minutes, what they will have is a minute and a half left literally in the game. And now we've got too many men in the box. And Philadelphia may have blown it right now. Too many men in the box, and I think they're calling it.
Larry Lloyd arguing the point, but certainly from our vantage point, there was no doubt about it. Bobby Allen, too, very upset. The golden opportunity, a 2-minute penalty by Ricky Bisson, and of course an advantage of one player and a good opportunity to score. And now the arguing's going on, and Philadelphia might pick up an additional penalty. Let's wait for the call.
I'd have to say it's a pretty gutsy call at this point of the game. Well, Philadelphia had the power play for 16 seconds and got bunched at their bench and were whistled by Carm McMillan for too many men on the box. And so the power play opportunity has gone a-glistening. And now with 3:51 remaining in the third period, they'll play 5 aside for 1 minute and 45 of that time. Then for the next 15 seconds, Rochester will have the power play edge. So it means that with no further penalties in the future, that the teams, and if Rochester or Philadelphia does not score, they'll not come back to even strength till 1:51 remains in the game. Pivotal play with a score of 13-12. Philadelphia apparently given a golden break when Bisson was called 2 minutes for roughing Wasson for a good check on the goaltender. Gave it right back on its tactical error of too many men on the box. Now they get the ball. Remember, they're 5 aside. And you'd look for Terry, one of the one-on-one. Here comes Terry Rowland. Watch. He's double-teamed and held. Tries to get a shot off. Ball poked free, and it's Rochester ball. Poked away again. Watch the break. Watch the break, and they're going to feed him. And it's a bad pass, and it comes to Philadelphia's Terry Lloyd. 8:20 remaining in the third period. 13-12 Rochester. 1:13 left on the penalty. Here comes Grant. Trying to get a shot. Bumped off nicely. Watch him. Watch him. Backhand shot. And Marshall just got a hand there in time. And you could see Carm Collins stick a foot out to try to trip Merv Marshall. We've got 3 minutes exactly in the game's third period right now. Rochester will get its man back in 50 seconds, and the Wings in 1 minute and 6. There's a pass, almost blocked away by Larry Lloyd. Thrown again into the corner. That's Bill Foote. Breaking for the net is Gordon Ear, and he had the breakaway, and he couldn't handle the ball. Every play so crucial. Watch Gordon Ear as Wayne Platt came out to break him away from a 2-on-1. Carm Collins bouncing it up to Terry Lloyd. Terry Lloyd will go one-on-one. Gets a stick right in the face. Tries to break past his man. He's in, and at the last moment has the ball knocked free.
Graham Gare putting on the check.
13-12. 2:20 left in the third period. 14 seconds on the Rochester penalty. Graham Gare to the net. Pass stolen by John Grant. But Grant does not have the zoom to make the break. Feeds up to Wasson. Wasson avoids the check. Back to Grant. Grant can't get in. Rochester gets its man out. Watch, John. There it was. As Rochester's got a break. Trying to get the man the ball. There he is.
Number 25. Brian Bowman with a tremendous goal off the stick of Ricky Bisson. Look at those players. They're going absolutely crazy, as are the fans here in Rochester. Let's take a break while the action is on the floor.
Back here at Rochester, Brian Bowman may have given Rochester the Nation's Cup, as John Grant did not see the man, nor was he warned about the man breaking out of the penalty box. They broke it free. They broke down the court. They hit the man by himself, 25 Bowman, and he gets his second goal of the night. And for Brian, for the season series, it is his second goal. Both of them tonight. The Wings trail by 2, and now they've got to go hell-bent for leather, and they're going to pull Wayne Platt. 1:40 left in the third period, 14-12. And 2,500 here standing. We're number 1, and they may well be. And Grant has the ball stolen away, or Lloyd by Brian Keegan, and now they can run off at least 30 seconds. They'll try to rag timeout. And Philadelphia has to go get the ball. 18 seconds left on the shot clock, 1:20 left in the third period. 14-12 Rochester. There's Kevin Parsons. Ball bounces out. Philadelphia with possession. Off Parsons with 1:15 remaining in the period. They're running the clock, and Philadelphia now working into the 4 box. That's John Grant with the ball. They don't have a goaltender. Grant to Ferguson. Back to Grant. There it is. And the save is swatted out into the corner. 1 minute remaining in the third period. And Rochester's going to get the ball. And they've got an open net. Here goes Keegan. He goes right in, but he's going to hold the ball to be sure. He's in, and he doesn't take the shot wisely. As long as Rochester has the ball, Philadelphia cannot get a goal, and it looks very bad now for Philadelphia. 40 seconds left in the third period, and they're roaring here. The Wings down by 2, and they've played a valiant series, but it appears as if Rochester is going to be the first recipient of the Nations Cup. 20 seconds left. They're going to lose the shot clock right now, and it will be Philadelphia in possession. And the clock is running with 18 seconds left.
This place is going crazy,
yes,
Dave. Absolutely crazy.
10 seconds. Grant's going to have to get one off in a hurry. Lloyd, the save is made. Lloyd with the ball, back to Grant. 6 seconds, and that's going to do it. 5, 3, 2, 1. And it's all over. And the Rochester Griffins have won the Nations Cup. A great series and a great final game. The final score, the Rochester Griffins 14